So we actually have 3 stations set up. So once we get the attendance sheet kind of starting to go around, what I'm going to want to have you guys do at this back table, we'll have to split you guys, so 2 will go to each of the 3 stations. However, whichever one you guys want to go to, doesn't matter to me. But we have 3 stations set up for our cooking stations. And I'm going to have you guys all help to make this, because ultimately you guys need to go out and know how to do this on your own. This is a really simple thing that we're doing. This is what we call a skillet meal. It's kind of a dump and go. So we just put all the components together, something from several food groups, put it in a pot, we throw it on the stove, we simmer it for 30 minutes, and we're done. So we're basing this on the types of things that we might have on hand. So most of the time we have some kind of protein, either beans or meat. We usually have some kind of soup, canned condensed soup base. We usually have some kind of pasta, rice, something like that that we can use, and some kind of vegetable. That's the idea. So the stuff that we're using today was actually donated from the Salvation Army, except for the canned soup. That was the only thing that I purchased. You get to make a choice with the soup. So you can either have a tomato-based soup, which will use water, or you can have the cream of mushroom soup, and I have milk to add with that to add the dairy component. But you'll have to decide that amongst your group, which one that you prefer on that one. And we have Great Northern beans, whole wheat rotini that we're using with it, and a can of low sodium green beans. Again, we're just going to put everything together and put it on the stove. So we're going to go ahead and divide up into our little sections now. So those of you that are at this back table, if 2 of you want to go to each of these tables, we'll go ahead and get started in this. So once we figured out who's where, you're going to go with your group and we're going to come wash our hands because we're all working on this bag of whole wheat rotini. So we're going to dump that. It's been pre-measured. It's 1 cup. And then we're going to have 1 cup of water to go with that. So if somebody else wants to pour the water component in, there's not a lot to do, I know. So that 1 cup represents what we're doing for pasta to make that cup.
How many should this be?
Well, this is about 6 servings, full servings. So we're doing half servings for you guys for samples. Okay, so then the next thing that we're going to do, just like we have on our paper, everybody has paper ready. The next one is the dairy component. So this is, we get to choose at this point. Do you guys want to do the tomato soup base with water, or do you want to go ahead and go into the mushroom and milk? Guys have to decide You like tomato? Tomato. Okay, so when we do the tomato, we're probably going to want to add water because otherwise it'll look kind of like Pepto-Bismol if we make it with milk. It tastes good, but it's not very appealing. So if somebody wants to go ahead and open the tomato soup, probably this side of the table.
And then with the cream of mushroom, you put it on the can of
Do we need to get water?
We need another can.
We'll need the can of water. This is a different size amount than this cup because we're looking at a 10.5-ounce can.
So I have to take the can.
Take the can up to get water. So the next person in line can go do that once we dump the tomato soup base in there. There you go.
Here, I can throw it on.
Perfect.
Oh, you're gonna, okay.
So would you like to get the water for it? Okay. So yeah, it's a little different measurement than using the cup.
Are we gonna use that again?
No, you can use that. That'll be great. So we'll wait on her to come back. Now the reason why I'm doing this one in a bowl instead of the others like a pot is because I'm using an electric skillet and I didn't want to bring the electric skillet over. So we're just going to mix it together here and all I'm going to do is take it and put it in the electric skillet. Because sometimes you may run into a family or an individual that doesn't have a stove. So an electric skillet works just as fine.
Yeah, canned food all have.
Because so many people.
Okay, all right. Okay, that leaves the next component, which is beans. We have Great Northern beans here, and this came from a bag of beans, and I went ahead and cooked them. And this is measured out, and it's equivalent to 1 can. So if you bought a can of beans, it'd be the same amount, the same size. Who would like to do this? That's our protein.
Extremely high amounts of
Would you like to do the beans?
We're ready for our-
Okay.
Wow.
Even if.
Lucky beans.
And see, this says.
So we'll go ahead and pour that in.
25% less.
Put everything together. The only thing that you're choosing from is the soup base.
Yeah.
I know. They're just
Right.
Or food stamps, purchase fresh produce, or is that?
I'm sorry?
Are they allowed to purchase fresh produce?
So,
Yes.
okay, so then
Yes.
how important is
Except it's
it
a little more expensive
not to
than
add?
buying this team ingredients.
Yeah, and like I said, this stuff was donated from the Salvation Army, so these are things that I know are available to lower income people right now. This is what they had in abundance of. So, you know, for me to make the 3 meals today and the 2 that I made on Tuesday or Monday night, I grabbed 1 bag of beans, made all 5 big meals. Right. And I had 5 cans of beans, so that was the perfect amount. So we're using about 1.5 to 2 cups of vegetables. This is the perfect amount in that 1 can. The only thing that I purchased separate was the soup base. So the tomato soup, the reason why I chose that one is most people have that one. It's the cheapest one besides chicken noodle, which probably wouldn't work so well with this. But the other stuff was all given. And the whole wheat rotini, 1 bag, I used for all 5 as well.
an extreme amount of sugar.
So if you wanna go ahead and open that, we'll have to drain the beans, the green beans that we're using for our vegetable component. So that'll be you, if you don't mind. Do you mind draining the green beans? And they are a low sodium green bean, but we'll probably do just a quick rinse in the can and dump it out again. Do you feel confident with that? Alright. Sweet. Alright.
I just know that that's the way, that's how they should correctly relate.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, do we have any questions about anything that we're doing with this skillet meal?
So this is the idea, is to take the skillet meal and give them choices of grain, choices of dairy, choices of protein, to mix all together into one meal.
Absolutely, so, yeah, you can use whatever they have on hand, so if you happen to be, you know, going to someone's house to do this, you can say, what types of things do you have? We can, you know, use this from the grains group, this from the dairy group, this from the protein group. So that's why we have lots of examples on there, so if you're kind of stumped, or if they're kind of stumped, you can say, oh, let's look at this list and see what kind of things that you come up with. Now, I will attest that I've done this several times, even in our country, and I'm sure you guys have had it several times, different ways I've made my skillet meal, because it's such a simple thing, and I always have something for each of these foods already on hand.
The thing that I think we probably should talk about a little bit, or have a resource for, is cooking dry beans, because I think that's something that people is comfortable with here.
Okay, just so that you know, when I did this bag of beans, it has the directions on there. They're pretty simple. This bag of Great Northern beans, it was just to rinse them. You put 6 cups of water with it, you throw it on the stove, you simmer it for an hour and a half. You're done. It's a pretty simple thing. Now, depending on what kind of bean it is how long it needs to cook, but it's right on the bag. So it's really not as time consuming. It used to be that you have to let them sit and soak for hours. You don't have to do that anymore. It's just a quick rinse, put it with the water on the stove, let it simmer for an hour and a half. Now, it can go up to 2 hours, but I did an hour and a half because we're gonna cook it another 30 minutes on the stove. I don't want them to be too mushy. So, if they want to choose to use canned beans, absolutely. I would just recommend trying to get one that's a low sodium one if possible. The beans that come in the bag have additionally no sodium, whereas the canned ones have quite a bit for preserving. So keep that in mind. All right, this is all done. Do you have any other questions?
What about like any kind of seasoning?
We're gonna do that at the end. I brought some different things for you guys to try to add to it if you'd like. I do have salt, although I suggest that we don't use the salt just because we already have salt in the soup base. Quite a bit. But I do have pepper, I have garlic, and I have Italian seasoning as well that we can add to it if you guys choose to do that. I like to leave that for you guys at the end and on an individual basis to add what you prefer to it.
And,
Okay? All right,
It's
anything
to
else?
stay away from sugar.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and put this on the stove then. Well, actually in the electric skillet, so I'll be right back.